What's up, everyone? Matt Kajeski here, back again with the Odd Shopper channel. Today, we're talking some college basketball props via No House Advantage. Before we get started, make sure to hit that thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you know when this and all other content goes live. We are also brought to you today by No House Advantage. We'll be talking about player props on their platform throughout, but they have a first match deposit bonus up to $100 that you can take advantage of by clicking the link in the video description below. With that $100 match deposit bonus, you can take advantage of all these player props we'll be talking about via the Verse the House feature that is exactly like it sounds. You're making lineups of player props, which is what we're going to be doing today. So we'll talk about that a little later. But they also have pick'em contests where it's you versus other people in tournament style formats. You're making lineups of player props on a confidence interval, and it's you versus an array of people with prizes up top that can be pretty large, as high as $25,000 in some instances. And these contests often are not filling, which means there's more equity for you and a larger chance that you can take advantage of that top prize. So make sure to check out No House Advantage today. We are going to do just that with the player props, talking about some today for January the 24th. We'll bring you behind the scenes, show you the platform, and I've got these preloaded. We're going to talk about three today, kicking things off with Sean McNeil for Ohio State. We're going to go under 10.5 points here. First off, Sean McNeil is averaging about 9.5 points per game. Ohio State is now facing Illinois today. That's a 4-point spread in favor of Illinois. Total at 144. Illinois playing pretty good defense on the year. This team is 15th in defensive efficiency on the year. So this is by no means a good matchup for Ohio State in terms of their offense. And then from here, this is just a healthier Ohio State team, at least on paper. Zed Key did get banged up in their most recent game, but I'm tentatively expecting him to play. And when Zed Key is healthy, you just have more lineups you can play for Ohio State. Not to mention Ice Likely's back. He was injured for part of the year. He just saw his minutes jump to 32 in Ohio State's most recent game. And we've seen the minutes drop for most of these players, and it's not anything having to do with their individual talent, but you could just have more lineup combinations. You don't need players to get out there for 35 plus minutes when you have Zed Key and Ice Likely back healthy and in the lineup. So we saw this happen with Sean McNeil. He'd played 31 and 32 minutes in the two previous games, but most recently that dropped down to 24. I think is probably closer to 30, but even in that span on the course of the year, he only has a 13% shot rate. So Sean McNeil is not necessarily very involved. When you have healthy Zed Key and Ice Likely, he's not going to be the main focal point of your offense taking shots. Even, we even talked about Bryce Sensabaugh, who's a high-profile freshman for them, 20% shot rate, 21% in the last 3 games, come on very strong as the year has progressed. Sean McNeil, third, fourth option, shooting the ball, tops for this team. On the back end of our projections, he's at 8.3 points, making this a pretty solid value towards the under. Second game, we'll get to second player prop. We'll scroll down a bit here. We actually have 2 on the screen. I'll scroll up so we can talk about one at a time. Caleb Love, North Carolina guard, taking on Syracuse, projected at 13.5 points. We like the over on that for a lot of reasons. And this is a spot where we actually have value on the North Carolina side in this game. But overall, this should be a pretty high-scoring affair. North Carolina, 4-point favorites. Total is 150 points. Very up-tempo game. North Carolina plays with a lot of pace. Caleb Love plays every single minute. In the last 3 games, he's played 38, 34, and 33 minutes. He has a team-leading 25% shot rate on the year. That is up to 27% in the last 3 games. And he hasn't always been efficient, but Caleb Love with this kind of shot rate is going to eclipse this point total more often than not. You look at the shooting defense for Syracuse, they rank 158th in perimeter defense, on the interior 136, outside the top 100 in both. This is not the strongest defensive team altogether. You look at Syracuse on defense just in terms of efficiency, they rank 148th. So Caleb Love should have every opportunity to score here. And what I like to see is that his shot rate has remained 27%, even with Armando Bacot back on the floor. So we know Love is going to have the shot opportunities. We're going to go over 13.5 points for Love. And the last one, you guys probably already saw it to some degree. On the other side of this game, Syracuse, Joe Gerard, we're going to go under 18.5 points here. Now, there should be a high-scoring game environment. We mentioned that with Caleb Love, but this is a spot where I think we can potentially sell high on Joe Gerard. Now, he plays every single minute. This is kind of a scary fade. So, Joe Gerard, last 4 games, 40 minutes, 38 minutes, 31 minutes. He's going to play probably 35 plus here in a highly competitive game. He leads the team with a 25% shot rate. That is up to 29% in the last 3 games, which I think has a lot of room to come back down to earth. Just with players like Jesse Edwards, Judah Mintz, Malik Brown has come on pretty strong for this team. Sometimes they give Benny Williams 30 minutes for whatever reason. You really have one shooter to defend here, and that is Joe Gerard. YOLO Joe, as a lot of people like to call him. North Carolina's defense has been susceptible at times, especially to 3-pointers. But you also have Syracuse not really shooting a ton of them. Syracuse, they rank 327th in 3-point attempts. If you dedicate some coverage to Joe Gerard, there should be a spot where they could definitely stop him here. Out of the 3, this one has the least value. We have Joe Gerard projected at 17.3 points, so about a 1.25 points below the projected line, but it's still a little bit of value towards the under. And I mean, anytime you're dealing with these big lines, when we talk about stud players, there is a lot of room for downside, injury, foul trouble, whatever it may be. If that happens in a game, there's a lot more paths to the under hitting than the over. So we'll stick with these 3 today. As you can see on the bottom of the screen, you need to make at least 2 picks. But if you pick 3, you get 5x. If you wanted to add 2 more, if you found 2 others with value, that could pay as much as 21x your entry fee in this versus the house feature. So just a lot going on at No House Advantage. Make sure to check them out. Use that first match deposit bonus. The match is $100. You'll definitely want to take advantage of that. Let me know in the comments section what you think of these picks. If you're listening on podcast, please leave a rating and review. That helps us a ton. And if you'd like to follow me, I'm on Twitter at Matt_Gajeski. Otherwise, thanks for watching. We will see you guys again next time.